Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation is proud to be a co-founder of the Global Fund for Coral Reefs. Coral reefs are at the nexus of the biodiversity and climate crises. The collapse of coral reefs, which scientists predict could happen by 2050 if dramatic action is not taken, would have a devastating impact on food security, livelihoods, and coastal protection for an estimated 1 billion people around the world. But the reality is that we're not just facing a coral reef crisis, we're also facing a coral reef funding gap. As a blended finance mechanism, the Global Fund for Coral Reefs seeks to save coral reefs from extinction by unlocking major return-seeking investments to promote coral reef conservation and restoration in developing countries. Our vision is for the Global Fund for Coral Reefs to serve as a demonstration fund through which we will develop a pipeline of investable projects that, if proven effective, can be scaled globally to save coral reefs. The Global Fund for Coral Reefs is an investment-ready mechanism. It's ready to deliver on SDG 14 and post-2020 global biodiversity framework ambitions. Despite the dire predictions, if we act with urgency over the next decade and we mobilize the necessary resources to implement proven approaches, we can change the trajectory of the coral reef crisis. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Melissa Wright, representing Bloomberg Philanthropies, Peter Bryant, representing Builders Vision, and Preeta Sinha, the Executive Secretary of the UN Capital Development Fund, for a special announcement.
Thank you so much, Chuck, and thank you so much to all of you, Your Excellencies, honored delegates, ministers, for having us here today and allowing us to provide this exciting news and information about the Global Fund for Coral Reefs. I'm here representing Bloomberg Philanthropies and Michael Bloomberg, your UN Special Envoy for Climate Ambition and Solutions. And we are excited to announce today an $8 million contribution to the Global Fund for Coral Reefs. Thank you. We see this contribution as building on our decade-long commitment to increasing ocean conservation for the livelihoods of people around the world. We've done that with major partners like the Wildlife Conservation Society, RARE, Oceana, and many others in places in our 10 target countries. We look forward to the progress that we think that this fund will drive, and know that through the 50 Reef study that we launched several years ago in partnership with some of our other partners on the stage, Paul G. Allen Family Foundation, that this study has really served as a science-based, clear framework for investment in coral reef geographies around the world. We're excited to join you in this celebration and look forward to sharing the progress at the next UN Ocean Conference. Thank you.
Thank you all for your commitment to the oceans. Builders Vision is an impact platform created by Lucas Walton, the grandchild of Sam Walton, who started Walmart nearly 60 years ago today. At Builders, we have a vision for a more humane and healthy planet and a mission to shift both minds and markets for good. And we focus that work in 3 sectors: food systems and sustainable agriculture, climate and renewable energy, and healthy oceans, for which our principal has a particular interest. Like the UN Global Fund for Coral Reefs, we believe that a variety of financial tools are needed in order to transform the sectors that we care about. We use grants to provide work for important scientific work and policy work, impact investments to de-risk early-stage businesses that are focused on oceans health and sustainability, and market-rate investing with venture and growth equity investments to accelerate scalable blue economy businesses. And that is precisely what the UN Global Fund for Coral Reefs seeks to do. And so for that reason, I am thrilled to announce our commitment of $10 million from Builders Vision to the UN Global Fund for Coral Reefs. Part of that commitment will be in the form of a $5 million grant from our Foundation Builders Initiative to the grant envelope for the fund. And I'm happy to say another $5 million will be the very first venture equity investment in the Global Fund for Coral Reefs with the entity that will be managing the equity portion of that fund, Pegasus Capital Advisors. We're very excited to be a part of this effort with partners like Bloomberg and Paul G. Allen Family Foundation and all of the UN agencies involved, and encourage all of you to also join us and be part of this important effort. Thanks.
It's now my great honor to thank you to the Builders Vision and to Bloomberg Philanthropies for those great announcements and for joining the Global Fund for Coral Reefs Coalition. That has included, in true manner, a blended finance setup. We have the governments of the UK, Germany, France, Canada, the governments of the recipient countries. We have the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation, the Green Climate Fund, the Prince Albert II of Monaco, the Pegasus Capital, PNP Paribas, the International Coral Reef Initiative, the United Nations Development Fund, the United Nations Environment Programme, and then the United Nations Capital Development Fund that I'm truly honored to serve. So the GFCR is now the largest blended finance vehicle dedicated to ocean globally. In less than 2 years, this innovative public-private coalition has mobilized more than $170 million to give coral reefs the best chance possible of surviving climate change and ensuring acceleration of sustainable blue economy. The initiative now has a program portfolio underway of programs in over 25 countries by mid-2023, and with the potential to increase the resilience and protection of more than 1 million hectares of climate-resilient coral reefs globally. To help save coral reefs ecosystems, I urge countries, private investors, financial institutions, philanthropists to join the only global coalition that is working very hard to unlock reef-positive investment. Coral reefs are not just valuable, they are vital. It is our duty to ensure their existence for future generations. I'd like to thank the governments of Portugal, Kenya, and to make this commitment and to recognize all our partners here in Portugal. Let me also invite now Pierre Bardot, the head of the Global Fund for Coral Reefs here, and thank you very much for all your attention.